Now let's go to Amman, where we have Saif Abukesh, the spokesperson for the Global Sumud Flotilla. Very good to have you on the program. And you're seeing these pictures as well from Johannesburg of these activists that have just now returned to South Africa. I guess that's a moment of happiness for you, is it?
Well, I mean, definitely, it's very good to see our colleagues coming back from the Israeli prisons after being kidnapped in the middle of international water and their rights being violated. We all are concerned about the 11,000 Palestinian prisoners that they don't have this opportunity and they are detained illegally under administrative detention or any type of charge that Israeli want to go through. What is very important that our colleagues came out motivated with high spirit and looking forward to continue our solidarity work with Palestine.
What have you heard about the interception this morning, those people that were detained? What's happening with them right now?
I imagine Israel will follow the same process that they have done with the Global Sumud Flotilla. They will do the same for the 1,000 Madlin and Freedom Flotilla. And it's an interception at 120 maritime mile, which is within international water. So again, committing another crime. Honestly, we lost count with how many crimes Israel is willing to commit and how many times the international community is willing to be complicit and just look the other way while Israel continue violating the rights of civilians who are protected by the 4 Geneva Convention and by international law, carrying humanitarian aid to besieged Gaza, while Israel is using starvation as a weapon within this genocide. For sure, they will be taken into port, as we have seen with our own colleagues. They will obstruct their right to be attended by a lawyer, and they will try to do as much as processing without with the judges without going through the lawyer. And we'll put them in cells and we'll also try to try to break them. But what we have seen right now is they haven't managed to stop the initiatives with the work that they have done, with the violations and aggressions that they have done with the Global Sumud Flotilla. Another initiative arrived with the Freedom Flotilla and the 1,000 Madlin, and more are going to come. What Israel needs to understand that the civil society is standing. The civil society is mobilizing, and they are fed up with the failure of politicians and governments. And when people are taking a stand, nothing will be able to prevent their mobilization.
Can I ask you about this Israeli claim? There have been claims from Israel saying that there was no aid on these boats, that they were in fact empty. Do you know if they were actually carrying aid for Gaza?
Of course they were, and we have seen so many documentations. But you know what? Israel in 1948 claimed that they have established a country in a land where there are no people, or more than 550 Palestinian villages and towns were totally destroyed. Israel continue claiming that every Palestinian is a security threat. That's why they are starving children to death. There are so many things that Israel claims, and there are so many resolutions that were done by international community and by the United Nations that Israel ignores. They have proven not to be a truthful source of information once and once again. We have seen how they bombed hospitals, how they bombed universities, how they bombed schools, how they kill children on daily basis and journalists to prevent them from showing the world what is really happening in Gaza. So we can just continue hearing claims. We have seen the videos, we have seen the footages. It's published on social media. It's very important to focus on what are these missions, because what is happening.
Yeah, so what are these missions? Just tell us, what are these missions? I mean, you know that they're going to stop you as you're approaching the Gaza shoreline. What's the actual mission then?
We don't really know, because there was a mission that did arrive to Gaza, and with Global Sumud Flotilla, we were very close. Some of our boats arrived to around 27 miles, so we can't really say for definite that they are going to stop us. What we can say that this is a mobilization. What we have seen on land, the number of people that went out to the street, immense. In Barcelona, more than 300,000 people went out to the street protesting the Israeli genocide and the blockade on Gaza. This is what we need to do to continue mobilizing between land and sea to pressure Israeli government to stop their genocide, because governments are not doing their job. These missions are not only about delivering aid. I mean, at the end of the day, we see that these are boats that carry volunteers, carry doctors, carry journalists, carry parliamentarians and representatives of civil society to be able to arrive to Gaza and open a humanitarian corridor. We cannot pretend that these boats carry a huge cargo of a humanitarian aid, because they are not, and none of the organizations ever pretended to do so. We say very clear that our aim is to break the siege. Our aim is to open a humanitarian corridor, and while we are going through the sea, we are carrying very needed materials for Gaza that upon arrival to be delivered for the citizens of Gaza, and then within our presence to have ensured a humanitarian corridor for the cargo ships that will bring the needed aid. What is happening in Gaza is not a natural disaster. It's not an earthquake or a volcano where people are isolated in different areas and nobody's able to reach to them, and there is a lack of humanitarian aid. In Gaza, there is a genocide and there is intentional starvation of the population. Aid is available. The issue is not the lack of aid. The issue is a government, genocidal government, that is preventing humanitarian organizations to bring aid to Gaza. This is what we are dealing with. And if we don't acknowledge this fact, if we don't try to address this reality, then it's going to be very difficult to find a solution. We keep just pretending that other symptoms and looking for other causes. Israel is causing genocide and starvation. If we don't stop Israel and if we don't block the siege, break the siege, then starvation will continue and genocide will continue.
All right, Mr. Abukeshek, thank you so much for your time and to hear your view there on this Sumud Flotilla and also this another interception that just happened earlier this morning. Thank you so much for your time.